It was a story that shook the world. A young mother found dead, her baby by her side, and a husband who claimed they were victims of a brutal robbery. But as the investigation unfolded, the tragic death of Caroline Louise Crouch took a dark turn, revealing shocking secrets and a twisted web of lies. What really happened in that quiet Athens suburb? The truth would leave the world speechless and spark a relentless quest for justice. Caroline Louise Crouch was just 20 years old when her life was tragically cut short. Born to a British father and a Filipino mother, Caroline was a bright, spirited woman who moved to Greece at a young age. She married Babis Anagnostopoulos, a Greek pilot, and the couple seemed to have an idyllic life. But on the morning of May 11, 2021, Babis called the police, reporting a horrifying home invasion. He claimed that intruders had tied him up, suffocated Caroline, and threatened their infant daughter. The story sent shockwaves across Greece, igniting widespread fear and outrage. As the investigation began, the police initially treated the case as a violent robbery gone wrong. The media quickly picked up the story, portraying Caroline as a victim of a heinous crime and Babis as a heartbroken husband. The couple's home was combed for clues, and the police launched a manhunt for the supposed intruders. However, as days turned into weeks, inconsistencies in Babis's account began to surface. His behavior during interviews, coupled with forensic evidence, started raising red flags. The police realized that the pieces of the puzzle weren't fitting together as they should. With growing suspicion, authorities intensified their scrutiny of Babis. Forensic experts discovered that the data from his smartwatch didn't match his version of events. While Babis claimed to have been tied up during the attack, the smartwatch indicated that he was moving around the house. Additionally, Caroline's smartwatch revealed a sudden spike in her heart rate followed by a complete stop, evidence that contradicted Babis's timeline of events. These discrepancies pushed the police to consider the unthinkable. Could Babis himself be responsible for his wife's death? Under mounting pressure, Babis was called in for further questioning. On June 17, 2021, a month after Caroline's death, the police confronted him with the evidence they had gathered. Cornered and unable to maintain his story any longer, Babis confessed to murdering Caroline. He claimed that an argument had escalated, and in a moment of rage, he smothered her with a pillow. To cover up his crime, he staged the entire robbery scene, tying himself up and killing the family dog to make the story more convincing. His confession sent shockwaves through the nation, as people struggled to comprehend how a seemingly loving husband could commit such a heinous act. The revelation of Babis's guilt sparked a media frenzy, with the public expressing outrage and disbelief. Caroline's family, who had once supported Babis, were devastated by the betrayal. As the case went to trial, details of Babis's manipulation and deceit emerged, painting a picture of a man who was willing to go to any lengths to avoid the consequences of his actions. The court heard how Caroline had been trying to leave Babis due to his controlling behavior, a decision that may have ultimately led to her tragic death. During the trial, Babis's defense attempted to portray him as a man who had simply lost control in the heat of the moment. However, the prosecution argued that his actions were calculated and cold-blooded, driven by a desire to maintain his image and avoid the shame of a failed marriage. The court found him guilty of premeditated murder and sentenced him to life in prison. The sentence was seen as a small measure of justice for Caroline, but it couldn't undo the pain and loss her loved ones felt. Caroline's case has since become a symbol of the dangers of domestic violence and the importance of recognizing the signs of abuse. Her story has sparked conversations about the need for better support systems for victims and more robust legal protections. The tragic loss of such a young life has resonated with many, leading to increased awareness and advocacy efforts aimed at preventing similar tragedies. Caroline's memory continues to be honored by those who knew her, as well as by strangers who were moved by her story. As we reflect on Caroline's life and the heartbreaking events that led to her death, it's crucial to remember the importance of speaking out against abuse and supporting those who may be suffering in silence. Her story serves as a stark reminder of the need to address the root causes of domestic violence and ensure that justice is served for all victims. The world will never forget the tragic tale of Caroline Louise Crouch, a young mother whose life was stolen by the person she trusted most. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Caroline Louise Crouch case. If you found this video informative and engaging, please don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below with your thoughts. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more compelling stories and in-depth investigations. Your support helps us continue to bring you content that matters.